Hello folks, and I hope you're all doing good. So in this video, we will be discussing about functions in Rust that we are already using. Like this fn you can see keyword. This is the keyword for function and we are using main function wherever we are writing everything, something that we discussed in the first video itself. Now, if you're following the Rust book, this will be the third section of the third chapter and you can read about functions over here. And they're also mentioning that we were already using the main function, but we will discuss about functions in detail in this chapter. And if you want to follow my blogs, so this is one blog on functions in Rust, and I will link both in the description below. So now let's go back to VS Code and write some functions. So we know that in Rust, our program starts from the main function. And here, if I simply do one cargo run, it will print out hello world, what we have here basically. Now, what is the meaning of writing a function? So let me write one custom function over here. And what we want to do is we want to print out something else. So let me write println and let me write hello from custom function. And now we can call the custom function inside our main function. And we have to write custom function and invoke it with the parenthesis. And now if I do one cargo run, you can see that we have hello world and then hello from custom function. So what it means is that we have written some logic inside one custom function and we can use that logic inside our main function without rewriting it. So if I am printing custom functions many times and now if I do a cargo run, what we don't have to do is write the println over here. Now println is only one line, I understand, but there can be many more logic inside this function. So this is the basic use case of function, basically writing and reusing code only once that otherwise we have to do let's say 100 times. Now this custom function is basically too simple, it's only printing one line. So now let's try to write one parameterized function, basically a function that accepts some parameter. So let me write one function, let's name the function as x function because it will be taking one value of x and we also have to basically call this function from the main. So let me remove three of the custom functions, I think it's too much. And what we want to do is basically call our x function and here we want to pass one value, let's say the value is 10. Now first of all, in our x function what we need to know is what is the type of value that we will be passing. So right now we know that 10 is an integer, so we can say that we are getting one value that is called x and that x is of the type let's say u64. So right now we are considering it as an integer only, so in case we are passing floats or bools or something else, it will throw an error. But later when we will be learning about generic, so we can also do those operations. For now, let's keep things simple and let's pass only an integer. And here what we can do is we can do print ln, and here we will be simply outputting whatever we are getting. So x equals to x. And now if I, let's say, do one cargo run once again, we will be getting hello world. That is the first line. I think it's not required, so let's remove it simply. Then we have hello from custom function and x equals to 10. So this is how we can pass one parameters. And so now let's write some interesting function, let's say. So I will be creating one function called sum of 2. So as you understand correctly, it will be adding two numbers. And let's say we have two numbers, a that is of the type u64 and b that is again of the type, let's make it i32. Like let's allow these numbers to be negative also, i32 and i32. And what we want to do is we want to store their sum inside sum. So sum equals to a plus b, which can also be an i32. And let's say then we want to basically print the sum. So print sum equals to sum. That's all. And now if in our main function we call the sum of 2 and let's pass let's say 5 comma 15, and now if I run we will see that we have sum equals to 20. So we can also do complex operations inside functions also. Like I know sum of 2 is very simple, but generally we use functions to do a lot more complex stuff like what we used to do in JavaScript, all sorts of crazy things. We will be doing soon. But for now, let's see how we can return values in Rust. So for now, the sum of 2 is basically printing out the sum over here, but let's say we want to return the value instead of printing. So in that case, it is very simple. We don't use any return or anything. We can simply write sum. So that means the sum of 2 will be returning the sum. as one value. So what we have to do also is we have to mention the return type also, and that we can do by writing one arrow and then I32. That means the return type is one I32. And here what we have to do is we have to get the result. So we have to write, let's say, let res, which is of the type I32 equals to this. And then we can basically do one println. And here we can write res equals to, and then res, and we will be getting our value. So cargo run, and we have res equals to 20. And we can basically change these values, and the results will change. I mean, there's no surprises there. So that's all we need to know about functions for now. And if you have found this video interesting, make sure to smash that subscribe button for more rusty videos like this, and I will see you next time.